Okay, heading off. Just testing out my camera, seeing how it gets on. New SO garage in Conisky is open now. It opened yesterday. It's the 5th of November 2020. It's about 10 to 8, something like that. What I want to do mainly is test my microphone in this camera. This is the Apeman A79 camera that I bought. It was only cheap. I thought I killed it in Chester recently because I took it out in the rain and it filled with condensation, but it actually filled into little water bubbles at the front. I thought, oh dear, that's it. Game over camera. But it's sat for a while in the heat and it's cleared up luckily. Just have to watch out for that. Differences in temperature now as well, inside and outside, are going to cause a bit of grief. This road's changed substantially over the years. This used to lead on basically onto the dual carriageway, but it's been changed an awful lot because of the works that they did for the bridge in the 1990s. The road I just come up on used to go on the left hand there. You've got a place called Rockcliffe. Well, the cottages on the right in Rockcliffe were at the side of the dual carriageway, so the road must have veered right over to the right hand side. I'm not sure how well this thing is picking up. Hopefully okay. It's not the best camera in the world, but should got plenty of light here, so it should behave. Here's the Flintshire Bridge. That was built in the late 1990s. A lot of people christened it the Bridge to Nowhere because I think they wanted it to go more over to the left, I think, and head off to the Wirral or somewhere at least, whereas this really went from Conisky to roughly Queen's Ferry. But I don't think it's the Bridge to Nowhere. I think it's quite useful for me. It cuts out a lot of traffic in Conisky, short of Queen's Ferry. It'll be interesting to see today what the traffic's like, because today is the start of the lockdown in England, and yesterday when I was going into work, the traffic was really heavy. It was almost as if the pandemic had ended and we were back to normal again. Because absolutely everyone was on the road. But it may be different today again because people have been asked to furlough and lock down and what have you. It seems a lot quieter than yesterday so far, at least anyway. I have to see what it's like on the Welsh Road leading to 2 Mills, because that's a good teller. The traffic was continuous in both directions yesterday, solid. This land was all marshland previously. It was part of the steelworks later. the steelworks unfortunately closed in, well, start of the late 70s, early 80s when I was a kid, and so it was something like 12,000 people made redundant, which left the Deeside area in quite a bit of depression for a while. Lots of people didn't have any work, but then in recent years they've built this industrial estate, solar panel park, as you can see on the left hand side. I don't think you'll be able to pick up the industrial estates on the right, but there's quite a lot of large and small and medium industrial units there now, utilising the old steelworks land, because when the heavy industry went, it was just mass unemployment for years here. A better view of the solar panel park, probably. UPS off out to deliver your parcels. I don't think they do Amazon, do they? I think Amazon have their own drivers. I quite like the solar panel park. I like the fact that they're using it for renewable energies and things like that, so it's better for the environment, which is good. But it used to be all farmland there, so it's a shame that one environmentally friendly thing is being destroyed to build another. Nice to see something that isn't environmentally friendly being destroyed to build something that is. There's a lot of land left at the end of the solar panel park too, so they might be considering perhaps to build more. Who knows? But they said it's one of the biggest in Europe, I think. Heading into the sun now. I don't know if the camera will be a bit cheesed off. There's a group of houses on the left here. They always confuse me, those. You go round that roundabout we're heading to now, go round the right, it's a little road, and then you come back on yourself and you head off towards, I don't know what the heck it is. It looks like a load of 1950s council houses, you know, the ones that had the metal windows and red brick, sort of like the ones you'd see if you lived in Connerski and Dodds Drive and things like that, with the old metal windows, if you're old enough to remember them. It's all double glazing now. Yeah, they seem to, I don't know, they're just lurking at the other side of the road. Just on their own, like a little group of them. I'm not quite sure why they're there, but I mean, if they're council houses, I mean, I'm not sure why they're there. Possibly they're not, they might be privately owned. Just like a little camp or something out on the middle of the field or whatever. I'm sure it's nice if the people that live there are nice and peaceful, then I'm sure it'd be very pretty being stuck in the middle of the countryside. I always thought it was that Shopwick Village place, but I don't think it is. I think that's a different place. Yeah, the traffic is unbelievably better here today. At this point here, you'd have a constant stream of cars that had already been going past, if you know what I mean. Absolutely huge amounts of traffic. This is nothing, they've been right back to the roundabout. there seems to be a bit slowed down in front here, but I don't know if that's traffic or because a tractor or something's getting in the field. Oh, a policeman. That's not a good sign. I wonder what's going on there. Oh dear, I wonder if it's they're going to start up a roadblock Wales-England thing, because this is the Wales-England road. Yikes, that's not good. There's a possibility there. That's probably what the slowdown was though. I wonder if he's... Nah, surely he's not pulling cars. Wouldn't just have a bloke stood there with no car pulling cars, but he was like cleansing his hands as though he'd been touching something he shouldn't be. Well, hopefully not. That's going to cause a bit of flipping chaos if that's what's happening now. Heading up to 2 Mills. Used to be a Honda garage on the right hand side as we're heading up here. 2 Mills Honda. On the left hand side, sorry, the right hand side's the mini one. On the left hand side was a Honda garage, but it abandoned ship many years ago. Went to move to Cheshire Oaks, I think. It's a carpet shop now, Bogans, and there used to be another sort of car showroom type place here, VR, and that was just full of crazy stuff like Evos and Lancers and, well, Evos and Lancers and Skylines and what have you. Yeah, I'd say the traffic is less today than it was yesterday. There's no constant streams of traffic now, it seems to be a little bit more choppy. I know it's still quite early, but even so, it was early yesterday when I was coming down here and it was a heck of a lot more busy. Caravan sales place, then you've got Water World, where you can buy stuff for your ponds and your fish. It's just here on the left, and then next is Gordale's Garden Centre, also usually very cheap for petrol, £1.13 and £1.15 for diesel per litre, so they're generally fairly cheap. A little bit further up here we'll be passing Hinderton Shell, because unfortunately that's the way I have to go at the moment, because all of the roads seem to be closed. They appear to have closed absolutely every lane leading to work, because I always go down the lanes, but unfortunately they're all shut. Which is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. We've done well, really, to get this far without the lights being on red. Because the high road, generally, famously, all the lights are on red when you approach them, so that's not bad going there. There's an old fuel place here on the left there. I don't know what the heck it was, but I've been coming this way for about 12 years and it was derelict and fallen to bits 12 years ago, so it's been shut for quite a while, I think. though that's been collapsing for years as well. I don't think there'll be anything interesting in there, apart from maybe the odd rat. Yeah, this is the junction where I'd normally go. Sadly, up there on the right is closed. Though you wouldn't know because it doesn't actually advertise it, fact. It doesn't make it simple for you. I'll have a look what the traffic's like down here because it's quite an awkward crossroads down here with no lights and cars coming from every direction. Or just a little further on, there's one that's actually got traffic lights and it's far easier to traverse through. So if it's looking a bit griefy, I'll carry on to the next one. Still plenty of farmland around here. It's nice to see. I hope the farming industry does alright once we've done this Brexit business. I don't know if it's going to hinder or help, no idea. If Boris stays in, then he'll be pretty much obliged to come good on his promises, or whatever you say, because he's promised that it's going to be fantastic, leave the EU and all this business. So if it isn't, I don't think people will be too happy. There's the Shell, 114 for petrol here, 117 for diesel, but then it is Shell, so it's generally good stuff. A few people swear by Shell and won't put anything else in their engine, so perhaps one of the 1p extra or whatever it was. I honestly have no idea what supermarket fuel's going for at the moment. I filled up at the Shell last time, so I'm not quite sure. See, this is the lane I'd normally go up, but can you see how much of a pain in the bum it is? Let this chap go. So I think I'll just carry on to the next junction, which is just down here. That junction there was absolutely fantastic last week because, as with all the other roads in this area, the road on the left was closed, so it just made life a little easier. I'm not completely au fait with this route, but I'm sure I'll suss it out. The only thing with the lanes all being shut, it's a bit of a pain because I'm coming about 10 miles out my way to go back again. Well, perhaps not 10, but bloody, I'm coming all the way down here to then go right and go all the way back to where that lane was I normally go through. Right down by Gordales. Red Fox. Can't see the pub, it must be behind. This is Thornton Huff. Virtually everyone on this side of the river reckons this is the best way to come to work. I generally avoid it because it takes me right out of my way, but it does look a pleasant little place, like. Seen this before. Pretty little village green, blacksmiths I think it is here, and classic landy, always nice to see. Thornton Huff Village Smithy. There's a heck of a lot of buildings the camera won't pick up on the far right hand side across the field, but they're all black and white style buildings. An old telephone box, that's a rarity nowadays. Don't see many of those now. Well, I was Thornton Huff. It's election day today in the US as well. Well, it was election day yesterday, but it's still carrying on till today. It looks as though Donald Trump might be going out. Joe Biden, or Biden, is it? He's possibly going to be winning, possibly anyway. Trump's not happy though, he's kicking off a bit about it, threatening lawsuits and all kinds. Don't know how that'll affect the UK, to be honest, I'm not sure. A good thing, a bad thing, who knows? Waffling Driver. I think this takes me to the roundabout that I'd normally be on about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, this is the roundabout. When we passed Gordale Nurseries and that lane that I usually use, this is about half a mile up the road from there. So that's the kind of diversion I'm having to do because of the lane being shut. It is a nuisance because it adds quite a lot of time to the journey. Housing developments that are causing the chaos down the lane I use, I suppose need to be done. Entire house on the left there. Charity, definitely support those guys. The old entrance to Clatterbridge Hospital on the left there as well. That'll be gone soon. All this land on the left has been sold for housing development. Clatterbridge site. They sold the land. I find it a bit of a shame, really, because it's a nice little hospital, Clatterbridge. It's a pity that they're sort of downsizing the place. I think it'd be a wonderful place for outpatient-y type stuff, DME and things like that. If you're poorly and in hospital and old, rather than being stuck at one of the larger acute trusts in the middle of cities and towns looking at walls, this place is very pretty, as you can see. Oh well, let's see how this footage has come out, eh? See if it's any good.